that's just recording me as the class goes. So we'll get settled and folks, give them shoulders a wee roll back. Give your sitting bones a wee move so that you can ground yourself in a wee bit. And we begin just with your legs stretched out. So we want to just let go of the day so far. Let go of anything that we're carrying or any stiffness in our body as we get settled in and as we allow ourselves to come into the room. So we start like we've done before. I want you to give them legs a wee shake, wee move, whatever feels comfortable for you. Right up on them hips and then let them relax a wee bit. And no, you don't feel silly or look silly doing it. It's just letting that go. Pull your toes up towards me and I want you to think of your heels and see if you can ease them away out nice and long. And our general thing is to think, am I doing this right? Is it all right? But what I want you to do is feel it. Notice where you can feel it through your calves. Think of them hips then, sit up. And I want you to just lean forward a wee bit. Not with your head, not with your neck, just out of your hips. Breathe in. And then breathe out, let yourself come back up a bit. Point your toes away then. And notice the difference then that you feel when you're holding that. Notice through your shins. And then let that go. Give your ankles, your feet a wee move, a wee wiggle, maybe circles around. And you're just opening up and just letting go a wee bit. You're giving yourself, your mind a wee chance to start connecting with your body as well. And then let that relax. Bring your attention then to your arms, your upper body, and just give it a wee shake. Imagine letting go of them shoulders, through your shoulder blades, anything that's there. And then bring your hands together for me. Close your eyes for a wee second and imagine that you can take any kind of nervous, anxious, worrying energy right down your arms, right under your hands, and then like your hands are wet, give them a wee flick and just let that go. And then let your arms relax for me. Your legs can have that soft bend in them. Arms are down by your side. And you're just going to breathe in for me. Slide them shoulders right up to your ears. And then as you breathe out, let them go. And we'll just do that one more time. Big breath in, a big lift up. Squeeze them and then let them go. Just letting go of that. Anything that's building up for the day. I want you to breathe and bring your arms up for me. Wee bit of ease in your legs if you need it, that's okay. And as you breathe out, you're just going to come over. Doesn't matter how far, it's not about far, but I want you to drop your chin to your chest. Let yourself curl in, feel that breath there. And then nice and easy, pull your belly button in and imagine stacking your vertebrae all the way back up on top of each other. And again, we do it one more time. A breath in, stretch up, and then as you breathe out, all the way out of them hips and over. Hands rest wherever sits. But think of your chin, let it come into your chest, and let yourself just go that wee bit. Feel the stretch through your back, maybe your neck, maybe you feel it in your legs, but just notice. And then when you're ready, pull your belly button in first, and then stack your spine nice and easy, back up again, up nice and tall. Give them shoulders a wee roll, and then if you feel comfortable, just let your legs come in, then give them a wee bend, let them come in, and let yourself sit up. So we'll jump in for our first exercise. Had you done mindfulness before, Stephen? Have you ever tried it? Okay. So we talked last week about our 2 anchors that we use in mindfulness. We're trying to build our awareness. We're trying to keep ourselves as present as we can and our mind focused. But we're doing it with as much compassion as we can for ourselves. Try not to judge ourselves. Fuck, I can't do it and I'm not doing it right or whatever. Just trying to go with it. So we start with a wee breathing exercise and a wee check on with our body. So if you feel comfortable, you're just going to let your eyes close. Let your hands relax wherever feels comfortable for them. And as you settle in, we're going to use our first anchor, our body first. So I want you to give your toes a wee wiggle. Just give them a wee wiggle. Notice where they're at. Notice that connection with the floor. And then notice through your knees, through your hips. And then notice them sitting bones that you're sitting on there. Nice easy breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. I want you to just keep your focus on your body, and I want you to think of your spine for me. Think from your tailbone and imagine you can stack them vertebrae in your back just up nice and steady on top of each other. So think through your lower back, and then all the way up through your mid back, your shoulder blades, all the way up the back of your neck, and then up to the top of your head. So rather than being bent over, curled over, you start to begin to open up and straighten up. Your head comes up nice and tall. Imagine your head, your face getting that wee bit of sunlight. And then I want you to think of a wee piece of string coming out the top of your head. Imagine that that string is all the way woven through your vertebrae. And imagine it's coming out the top of your head and you can lengthen it now up nice and tall. That you can just lift and stretch. And as you do that, each vertebrae separates a wee bit and it opens up. And it allows you to stretch. It allows you to sit in that bit of power nice and tall. So you end up with your head over your heart, and your heart is over your pelvis then. Give them shoulders a wee roll back if you need to, and let that neck lengthen up. Imagine as you open each vertebrae through your back when you're sitting up, that you actually allow your nervous system to open up and everything to flow out of your spine nice and fluidly then through your body. And then we turn our attention to your breath, our second anchor. And I just want you to think, relax yourself so you're not sitting rigid tall, but you try and hold yourself up there, and we just bring our focus to your breath. Breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. Nice and easy, in and out. So I want you to think, if you can, at the minute your thoughts will be going and running, I want you to think, if you can, is as you breathe in that air coming in past your nostrils. See if you can notice that air as you breathe in, maybe the stretch through your chest. And as you breathe out, you just breathe out with that sense of letting go. Notice the breath as it passes your lips, but a wee bit of softness coming in through your shoulders, through your back, through your hips, through your knees. Just breathing in and breathing out. So we just take a wee minute now to let go of the day up till now. Allowing yourself just permission to be here in the room. Just let that awareness as much as you can stretch out to you from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. The space that you're taking up, sitting on that bolster, your mat on the ground. And as you breathe in and you breathe out, just that sense of letting go of anything that's outside of the room now, and allowing yourself to be here as best you can. Maybe allowing any worries, anything you're carrying, anything that's sitting with you. Do you imagine you can tick that off and just sit it by the door for the time that you're here? And then you can choose what when you're leaving, what you pick up again. So we breathe in and we breathe out, and just notice that awareness of our breath. And then when you're ready, I want you to just see if you can stretch that a wee bit further. Stretch it to the music in the room, just noticing and being able to take that in. And then when you're ready, just bringing it back to your body, your toes, your fingers, wherever they are. And just letting yourself bat your eyes and come back into the room a wee bit. And give yourself a wee move if you need to. Being aware where you're at. So there's a wee bit of moving and shuffling and all the rest of it, and that's alright. Sometimes it's hard to go from the doing of the day to come into the room and just allow yourself to be. So all I want you to do again is stretch out them legs for me. And I want you to turn yourself around. Pick one side. Think of the bolster on that side. So I want you to think of your ribs and your chest and turn. If you get a hand to your leg and a hand on the bolster, just think of your chest turning, the door, the wall, wherever you're facing. Let your legs relax and let that stretch sit with you a wee bit. Just stretching all them internal organs. Breathe in, breathe out, and then let yourself come back to the middle again. We do the same the other side then. So let the ease come in your legs and then just turn round. But think of your ribs, think of your chest, and then just breathe when you're there. Notice how it feels. Breathing in, breathing out, and then let yourself come back to the centre again. Give yourself that wee shake if you need to, and let yourself come back. Now what I want you to do is take the wee minute to adjust yourself if you need to. If it's not comfortable, move. If you feel like I can't sit like this, then lean up against something if you need to. Alright? And then we go on to our second wee exercise then. So again, I'm going to get you to close your eyes if you feel comfortable to do it. And if you feel I want to be able to keep them open, or if you feel I need to move a wee bit or get in a different position, then do. But when you're ready, just drop them eyes again. Or you can do a nice slow gaze if you need to. So just taking a wee minute now, folks, we come back to them anchors again. Just your body, checking in that head over your heart's over your pelvis, sitting as comfortably as you can, at ease, and letting them hands relax. And then we bring our focus just back to your breath again. So we breathe and exercise this time to just expand that breath and deepen it a wee bit. So all I want you to do is, as we were doing before, breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your mouth, letting your awareness come as much as you can to settle on that. Maybe noticing that air as it comes in through your nostrils, and then noticing it as it comes out past your lips. Now, if your mind is all over the place and you're thinking of different things and all the rest of it, let that go now, that's okay. But what I want you to do is we add a wee count now, just so your mind has something to focus on. So I want you to try and breathe in for 4 for me. And then breathe out for 4. Breathing in for 4 and out for 4. And remember, there's no right or wrong in mindfulness. You just keep that going at your pace, and you change it if you need to. If 4 doesn't work for you, then you change that number if you need. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to match your in breath with your out breath. And as you do that, I want us to try and add a wee intention to do it. So as you breathe in, I want you to breathe in with that sense of patience for yourself. Meeting yourself wherever you're at this evening. just allowing yourself to be aware of where you're at and having the patience with that. So you're not fighting with yourself, you're not getting annoyed with yourself, just this is where I'm at today. And then as you breathe out, we breathe out with that sense of just letting go. Letting your body start to soften a wee bit. Shoulders, your hips, your hands. Just letting go. Letting that ease start to come in. When you're ready, we breathe in with that 4. But now I want you to see if you can move that out breath a wee bit longer. 5 or 6 on the way out. A nice long breath on the way out. And when you've got that, breathing in and that longer breath on the way out, I want you to see if you can go inside and just be aware of that breath. See if you can begin to notice your lungs stretching and filling and that moving in your chest. And then as you breathe out, that sense of space that comes as you let go. And then I want you to see if you can go a wee bit further. I want you to think of your lower ribs, your diaphragm. And as you breathe in, I want you to see if you can notice that breath right down in your belly or your diaphragm. Notice if you can see your lower ribs move as you start to take that breath. And if you can't, that's okay. Just allowing yourself that time just to be is beneficial as well. We just do that breath once or twice more now. 4 in the way in, longer in the way out. Just letting go. And then when you're ready, just letting your breath settle back in, nice and easy, in and out. So you're not changing, you're not forcing it, but just keeping your eyes closed. I want you to bring that awareness now back to the sounds that you can hear. I want you to see if you can focus in on the music. And then I want you to see if you can stretch it even further outside of the room. You notice the rain. And then when you're ready, we allow ourselves to just connect back with your body again. Your toes, your fingers, your head, your neck. Notice if you've bent over, if you've curled over, or where your posture's at the minute. And then nice and easy, just batting your eyes, letting your eyes open again. Letting yourself come back into the room. What I want you to do now, folks, and we'll do a wee stretch at the minute, is I want you to check in. So last week we talked about just noticing. Starting in mindfulness, the very first pillar is awareness. So it's all well and good doing these kind of exercises, but I want you to take a wee minute and notice. Did you find that easy? Were you in the zone and drifting away and on all the rest of it? Or did you find it a wee bit more challenging? Say versus last week, or just what you noticed this evening. Notice if your mind wandered off a lot and you had to bring it back. We're going to talk about that this evening. Just noticing. If you find it hard to be still, that's okay. But what we do, being mindful, is that awareness of noticing and going, actually that was really difficult this evening. My head was all over the place. And rather than fighting with yourself, going, what's that all about? And starting to get a wee bit curious. What am I thinking of? What is my mind going to? Is there something that's sitting with me that I need to maybe talk through, do something about? What do I need to do with that? So rather than just letting it rattle round up here and you're just up here and up here and you can't switch it off, did you start now to get a wee bit curious? What am I thinking about? Where's my head going? And maybe do you need, if I can't settle and I can't sit, what's the next action on that? What do you need to have a wee conversation about it or whatever? So just taking a wee minute to notice that. So the next bit that we're going to do then is we're going to come to lie down now. So I want you, thank God, says you, I know, put the pillow up this end. Now, anybody that's coughing or anything else, about a sniffles or whatever, because Kira, I know sometimes you would cough, and Gavin, I can hear you're coughing. Prop yourself up a wee bit if you feel you need to, if you feel like I don't want to lie down flat or whatever.
I don't want to cough, but if I cough loud enough, I think I will go away.
Get it out, that's
No, she'd slap me.
So, let yourself lie all the way back again. And then I'm going to put that there if you need. And just put a wee down under your head if you feel you need to prop up a wee bit. Pop it under. So, as you get relaxed, folks, and you get settled, anybody that has maybe a bad back or maybe felt it uncomfortable and wants another, seeing what we would normally say is you can take another wee bolster and you can put it under your knees if you feel. If anybody finds as we go through it gets a wee bit sore or uncomfortable or whatever, you can bend your knees, you can put them up. You'll see next to you a wee eye mask as well. So if you want to block the world out for a wee while, you can. And then put your blanket around. And again, there's more blankets there, folks. So if you start to, sometimes as our nervous system calms and as we start to relax a wee bit, you'll feel a wee bit colder. So if you feel I want another blanket around me, especially for anybody that's tall, then blankets wouldn't stretch over your whole body. You can grab another one if you need. So when you're ready, just letting yourself lie back now, and we move on there next wee bit. And as you get settled and you start to relax, I want you to take a wee minute now, and I want you to see if you can get yourself even 1% more comfortable. Give yourself a wee wiggle, let your back settle in. Let that bolster, if it's sitting be under your knees, just check in with your back. Check on that one under your neck is not too high, and just let yourself settle in. And as we go into this wee exercise now, we just remember that in mindfulness, what we really want to do is build that connection between our mind and our body. Our mind is probably running and running and running and running and all the what ifs and this, that and the other. I want you to take a wee minute now as you breathe in and you breathe out and ask yourself, have you been worrying the day already about something that hasn't happened yet? You don't have to answer it, just to yourself. We want to try and bring our mind back now and allow it to just connect and with your body a wee bit. Your body is always trying to give you wee clues. It's just up to us to pay attention and listen. So as you settle in now, I want you to check in with your feet. Let them fall away. Maybe let them separate a wee tiny bit if it feels comfortable. Check in with them hips, your back, and let your hands fall. And then we bring ourselves back to that anchor of our breath again. Just nice and easy, in through your nose and out through your mouth. You should just settle in now and let that breath soften a wee bit. We want to bring a wee count back in again. So this time we do what we did last week, that 3, 4, 5 count. You're going to breathe in for 3 through your nose. Hold that count for 4 if you can. And then breathe all the way out for 5. So in through your nose, out through your mouth, 3 on the way in. Hold it then for 4 and let it go then for 5. We're just going to do that breath cycle for a couple of times. At your pace. And remember, if the hold doesn't work for you, just leave that out if you need to. 3, 4, 5. Allowing your mind now to just settle as much as it can on your breath. If it's wandering away, that you're just bringing it back as much as you can and just letting it settle on your breath. Focusing on that count. And again, we go back to that stretch in your chest, your lungs filling all the way up, filling your rib cage, feeling that hold, and then as you let it go, just feeling that space that comes as you let that breath all the way out, feeling the ease that comes. And we'll just do that 1 or 2 more times. And then when you're ready, letting your breath settle again. So you're not counting, you're not changing it, you're just letting it flow back and out. Remembering that breath is the greatest gift that you have with you all the time, that you can use to allow your mind to connect in and just switch off for a wee bit and focus in on your breath. It means you're taking control over your breathing, allowing any symptoms of stress or worry or anxiety that's building up on you to just ease that wee bit. You're giving your mind that job to do, and rather than it running away and thinking different things, you're giving it a purpose and you're giving it a focus. So this time now, we allow our mind to just switch off a wee bit, and we're going to just do a wee scan of our body. So I want you to imagine your mind, that you can just start to turn everything off. Imagine it like a wee control centre, and you can go round with all computers or control boards or whatever, and you can just switch everything off. Imagine the door is in the corner, the light switch is on the wall, and as you make your way to that door, you can turn off the light, power down everything, and you can step out of your mind now, and you can step down into your body. And just allow yourself to be able to connect and see what's going on there. So we start right down at the top of your toes, your feet, and your ankles. So giving your toes a wee wiggle, giving your feet a wee move, allowing yourself to connect with your ankles. I want you to just check in what's going on in this area. Check through the toes, the soles of the feet, the tops of the feet, right under your heels, right under that ankle joint. And just start to notice, is your feet warm or cold? Is there any wee niggles there? Are they sore or tired if you've been on them all day? Just noticing, breathing in and breathing out. Maybe you notice as you move your toes, your socks around your toes, just being able to really hone in. Then when you're ready, we let that mindful awareness just settle there. And as you breathe in for me, I want you to curl your toes, give them a wee squeeze tight. And then as you breathe out, let that soften, let it go, let it relax. And then we breathe in And we breathe out, you let your feet fall away, and we move that attention up a wee bit further and through your calves and through your shins, right up under your knees. Noticing again any wee niggles, anything that's going on there. Maybe you start by noticing where your calf muscle meets your mat. Noticing that floor under you that's supporting you. And I want you to just right up under your knee, any wee niggles, any pulling, notice where it's resting. Notice if you've got that bolster at the back of your knees. Just breathe in. And this time now I want you to let that mindful awareness rest in your wee calf muscle at the back. And if you can, as you breathe in, I want you to see if you can pull this tight and give it a wee squeeze. And as you breathe out, you let it soften, let it go, let it relax. As you breathe in and you breathe out, then we move up a wee bit further through the thighs, the backs of your legs, right up to your glute muscles at the back, right down through that hip joint, and right under your hip flexors at the front of your hip, down under the front thighs. Just checking in that whole area, what's going on there. Again, giving your lower back and your glute muscles and everything that we move to just check on your hips and everything else. Just noticing what's happening through your thighs, anything that you need to be aware of or pick up there. And when you're ready, as we breathe in and you breathe out, I want you to let your attention just settle in them quad muscles at the front of your thighs. And again, as you breathe in, see if you can pull that muscle tight. Give it a wee squeeze in both legs, hold it. And as you breathe out, let it soften and let it go. And then I want you to think right from your hips, right down to the tips of your toes, your whole leg. And just let them relax now, let them go. You're not holding them. And then we move our attention up a wee bit further and through our stomach this time. And if you feel comfortable, let your hands come and let them rest there. Just resting on your tummy. And as you do that and you're breathing, I want you to just see if you notice that rise and fall, that wee movement through your tummy as you breathe in and you breathe out. And then notice a wee bit further what's going on in this area. Again, it's building the awareness of that connection. Stomach is often talked about as our second brain. This is where we get the first signs of excitement or joy or a wee bit of dis-ease. So paying attention what's going on in that area. Any butterflies, any tension, any knots. And really starting to hone in on that gut feeling that we have. Sometimes we have all the answers that we need right inside us. We just need to be open and aware enough to hear it. So as you breathe in now, just really allowing yourself to connect with that area. And then we go from front to back. So from your belly button at the front, all the way through to your spine at the back. So allow yourself to be aware of your lower back, that whole stretch along the bottom of your lower back. Maybe giving it a wee move, just connecting, and we can hold a lot of stress at the bottom of your back. So just giving yourself that wee minute to just notice. Maybe it feels a wee bit tight. Just breathing in and breathing out and being able to notice that wee bit. And then when you're ready, we let that mindful awareness come to rest on your stomach again, and this time on your belly button. And as you breathe in this time, I want you to pull your belly button in for me and hold it. And then nice and easy and softly, just let it go again. And be aware as we go through the body. Sometimes you're not even aware how tightly you're holding things until we release them a wee bit. When you're ready, then we breathe in and we breathe out, and we move our attention up a wee bit further, past your diaphragm, into your chest now. And again, you can slide your hands and let them rest on your chest. You can keep one hand in your tummy and one hand in your chest if you want to, just so you've got that connection. And I want you to breathe. Again, noticing that breath as you breathe in and you breathe out, noticing that move, that rise and fall. And then checking in through your chest area. What's going on in this area? Noticing if it's tight. Noticing if it feels restricted. Noticing if you've heaviness there that's sitting there. Just being aware. And as you breathe in and we breathe out as we go, that we try and lighten that a wee bit. And then again, we go from the front all the way through the heart, the lungs, right through to the spine at the back, and being aware of your spine as it flows between your shoulder blades at the back. Giving them shoulder blades a wee move, touching in and being aware of what's going on then through your back, any tension, any tightness that's there. Because if you're tight through your back, again, that'll restrict your breathing as you try and do it. And then when you're ready, we let that awareness come and settle at the front in your chest again. And this time we're going to take a big breath in through your nose, and we're going to hold it for a minute until I say. So when you're ready, big breath in as deep as you can. Hold that, and then slowly and easy let it out through your mouth, nice and long as you can keep it going for breathing out, breathing out, breathing out, and then letting yourself breathe in again and letting that breath come back and settle. I want you to imagine it in your chest like a big balloon that just keeps filling and filling and filling, and then you get to pop it and you release that tension and you bring that ease in. And then we move our attention up a wee bit further as you breathe in and you breathe out, this time through your throat and through your neck and shoulders and all the way down your arms, your upper arms, your elbows, your lower arms, right down under your hands. Letting your arms rest now by your side if you want to, or keeping them where they are, whatever suits you best. Breathing in and breathing out, and just being aware through your throat and your neck first of all. Sometimes we can have a lot that sits here. And I said that last week. Sometimes we can have a lot we want to say, we would like to get off our chest, and it's just sitting there. So just being aware now, maybe giving your head that wee move side to side and being aware what's going on there. And then all through the back of your neck. If your shoulders are up by your ears, if you feel you have knots and tightness in your shoulders, just allowing yourself to check in now. And maybe allowing your shoulders to slide down as far as you can get them away from your ears. When we pay attention and we put that focus on, the difference that we can get in our body is massive. As you breathe in and you breathe out now, I want you to bring your attention to your hands for me. And I want you to bring your thumb and your first finger together on both hands, or just one, whatever you prefer. And I want you to just give it a wee tap. Wee tap on that first finger. And then move it all down. Your thumb taps against your next finger, and then your ring finger, and then your wee finger. And then I want you to bring your hands under fists for me, and as you breathe in, squeeze it tight. Notice how that feels, and then let it go. let that ease come in. Let your hands just fall, let your arms relax, and just breathe. And then lastly, we bring our attention then through our face and our head. So we check in first with your jaw, just noticing if it's tight, if you're clenching it, giving it a wee move. Noticing your tongue inside your mouth, letting it relax. Notice through your cheeks, your sinuses, your eyes, your forehead. Notice if you're frowning, again, let it relax. Notice right up to the crown of your head and right through to the back, the base of your skull. Just letting it relax. And when you're ready, let that mindful awareness come and rest again on your eyes behind your wee eye mask. And when you're ready, our last wee squeeze, I want you to breathe in and squeeze your eyes tightly shut for me. Squeeze them tight, 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 tight. And then as you breathe out, let that ease come in again. Let your cheeks soften. Let your forehead soften. And then just take a wee minute to breathe now. And just be aware from the crown of your head right down to the tips of the toes. An awareness of your whole self, your whole being. The space that you're taking up, the mat that's under you, the ground that's supporting you. Be aware all them wee connection points through your back, your legs, where you're connected to your mat. And then when you're ready, we let a wee bit of soft, easy movement come back in again. So giving your fingers a wee wiggle, your toes a wee wiggle, giving your head a wee turn side to side. And then slowly, easily bending your knees, letting your feet come back on your mat again. And then when you're ready, really feel your feet. Push them into the ground. Be aware of your feet on the floor. Let your feet, just your toes move, your heels move, so you can ground in that wee bit. So you feel that ground underneath you. And then when you're ready, just again, letting your awareness stretch out beyond you now to the music, the sounds. And then when you're ready, I want you to just let your eye mask come off and put your blanket to the side for 1 wee minute. We're going to stay put in the lying down for now, but what I want you to do is I want you to bring your feet and your knees together for me. So if you've got the bolster there, you can put your feet on the bolster, or you can push it away for a wee minute and then bring it back. So your feet are going to stay in the ground. Hands can be out or in your tummy, wherever you prefer, but bring your feet and your knees together for me, and we're just going to rock side to side. So this is a brilliant one if you're holding tension in the bottom of your back all the way through, and it's a great wee restorative move. But what I want you to do then is keep that going, but I want you to add your breath for me. So breathing in as you go one way and breathing out as you go the other way. Sometimes it's really hard to relax yourself and to get into the wee meditation exercises. So sometimes when you add a wee bit of movement, it's a bit easier. Bring your knees back to the middle then and just give them a wee hug. Either use your hands or your arms and just give them a wee hug, and you let them rock back and forward. And then nice and easy, let your feet come back to the mat again. Let yourself come over onto your side then. So you're not rushing to sit up. You're just letting yourself come over. Just allowing yourself to check on that wee bit. And slowly letting yourself come back to sit up again. Not rushing or anything else. And we just hit. So as you sit up, feel, if you need to move, if you want to stretch, anything else. And we will come back to lie down. For now, as you're sitting up, again, I want you to just check in. How did that feel? Was it easier than the one before? Did your head wander off? And if it did, that's okay. Were you able to bring it back again? And just a wee check-in for yourself. Notice if you picked up anything in your body. Oh, I feel a wee niggle or a knot there, or or I was able to just relax my shoulders a wee bit more. Just taking that wee minute to notice and to check in. And then I just want to recap first before we come to just lie back down again. Last week we spoke about, just a recap for people that have done it before, but an introduction to everybody else on it. We spoke about the 3 P's, and don't shoot me because I forgot to put it on the group, but I will do that. We spoke about just your posture, being able to connect with your body and how important that is. Hands up who would say that they feel anxious often. Yeah? So noticing where you feel that anxiety. Sometimes it comes up in your chest, your shoulders, your stomach. Everybody has somewhere different. But when you're aware of that and it starts to creep on, normally what we do, I was saying the last time, is we just keep going. I'll be grand. But just starting to be aware of that now and noticing and paying attention. Last week we talked about just giving your body a wee shake, letting it open up a wee bit. Noticing when you're all hunched over and just giving yourself that wee stretch. We talked about just patience with yourself as well. Hands up if you've been fighting with yourself in your head today. Yep. Did it make any difference? No. So, again, that patience is an ongoing mindful thing. And I'm not saying right now we're going to stop that. But what we're trying to do is be aware of it. Shit, there it is. Maggs was saying I'm doing it again. And just trying with that wee bit of kindness first. And that's the thing we're going to stop. We're going to talk about tonight. What do we do? The last thing we talked about was practice. Last week we talked about boiling the kettle or doing something where you just get that wee minute to stop in the day. Just to stop and check in and notice where you're at. Notice how you're doing. Maybe a couple of big deep breaths. Because we breathe, especially when we're getting anxious and we're getting stressed, our breathing starts getting faster and shallower. So when you really make the effort to take them long, slow breaths, it starts to settle ourselves a wee bit. So that was last week. This week we want to go a wee step further and we want to notice, what do we do? Right, I've noticed I'm beating myself up here and fighting with myself in my head. I've noticed that I'm doing it. So we want to have a wee technique that we can take away. And anybody that's done it before will know, but as a wee recap, we talk about spotting it, stopping it, swapping it. Spot, stop, swap. 3 S's. So we've spotted. You want to be, rather than your mind running aimlessly, madly on this, that and the other and everything in between, spotting that you're doing it. I'm fighting with myself here, or I'm wondering, hands up if you've worried the day I said this at the start about something that hasn't happened yet. Yep. So starting to notice that you're spotting it, and then all we're going to do is try and stop it. If I breathe, if I give myself a wee shake, if I stamp my feet and all the rest of it, stop it. And then swap it out for something else. Right, what am I beating myself up about here? What am I worrying about that hasn't happened yet? Can I do something different instead? What if I thought of the best outcome instead of the worst? We never do that. We always think of the worst possible outcome. And it's understanding that's your brain trying to keep you protected. It's just a protection thing. But it's just trying to go, whoa. and notice that I'm doing it. What if I swap this out? What can I do? Instead of sitting worrying about this at the minute, what can I do instead? I can do a couple of wee breathing exercises that I know now. I can go and make myself a cup of tea. I can go for a walk. I can do a bit of exercise. I can have a conversation with somebody. So that's where we're at. What I want to do is just before we lay down again is just connect. And in mindfulness we talk a lot about thoughts, feelings and behaviours. And that's a real, if anybody's done CBT before, it's a real cognitive behavioural technique. Your thoughts create the feelings, and then your feelings will create behaviours. So you imagine, I think, does your groups have running this week? Yes. So always this falls in the week that I do this. So when we get a new group, and Ciara, we were just talking about running there now as well. When we do the introduction, we talk about the running and everybody goes, oh, running. Or the week comes that you're doing the running, everybody goes, oh shit, running. That's a thought. And that thought would just come in. Imagine like a wee balloon, it just comes in. But then what do? We add $50 million balloons to it and we go, shit, what if I can't do it? What if I can't keep up? What if everybody's faster? Where are they going to go? What will we do? And you snowball then. So you've gone from one thought running, wee balloon, to now you're like your man off that movie, up, being carried away with 1 million balloons, the house, everything's away. So all we're trying to do is notice the thought. Because what normally happens is we try and outrun the thoughts. If I stay busy, I'll not think of anything. I don't want to even know what's going on in my head. But the worry starts to build, and it starts to building feelings then. If we think about it enough, the feelings start to build, our chest gets tight, and then we start to feel worried, we start to feel anxious, maybe, a wee fear can even come in. And then what's the behaviour? Well, I'm not going. I'm going to think of every excuse under the sun and I'm just not going to go. That's the behaviour at the end. Or worse, I need to be able to switch off my brain, so I'm going to go back to the coping mechanism that I have before. So normally what we see, because we've ignored everything, is the behaviour. So for me, that would be snapping, short, getting angry, getting annoyed, easily irritated because I've let it go that I'm overwhelmed, and then the dog gets it, or my niece or somebody gets the wee short, sharp answer or shouted at or whatever, and then I have to go, whoa, I've missed everything else, or I've ignored it and I've just noticed the behaviour. So it's just starting to think of linking them together, doing that wee check-in with yourself, noticing them questions that I've asked you. Am I fighting with myself today? Have I worried about stuff that hasn't happened yet? And just starting to notice. Just because you think it doesn't mean it's true. And we'll continue talking about that next week as well. But for now, I'm going to just let that sit with you. The spot, stop, swap thing is the thing that we're going to think about as you go through this week. What am I thinking of? What am I worried about? Am I beating myself up about stuff? And that patience that we talked about. And then we're just going to come to let ourselves lie down again. So when you're ready, just bringing your pillow and letting yourselves lie back down again. So we get to relax now. But you get to have a wee minute to let whatever I've said, whatever we've been talking about, just sink in a wee bit. Don't worry about remembering it all or trying to get it all in. I have the wee recording that we'll do of the class as well, so you'll have it. It's just you taking away the thing that sits with you, if anything does. That wee nugget of information that just stays with you. So as we want to relax now at the end, we want to come back to where we started, our 2 anchors again. So that nice soft breathing first, and through your nose and out through your mouth. And as you do that, and as you let yourself settle again, we connect them with your body. So that's second anchor. Allowing your feet to come apart if you feel comfortable to do. And this time, if you feel you can do it, think of the corners of your mat and stretch your heels to there, so you get that real opening through your stomach, through your hips and everything else. And then let your arms, if you feel comfortable, stretch them out, so you come into a wee bit of a star position. Arms go out by your side, just like a cross, so they're resting, you're not having to hold them up or anything else. And that means you've opened your chest, you've opened yourself up now. You're not curled over, you're completely open, letting them shoulder blades relax, letting your hips relax. And you just breathe. I want you to imagine that each breath as you go, as you breathe in and you breathe out, just allows you to sink in that wee bit more into your mat. With every out breath, your shoulder blades begin to separate and relax and just sink in even further. I want you to imagine that that mat is a big, comfortable mattress now. And that every out breath you let go, it's just letting you sink that wee bit more into that mattress. It's there and it's supporting your body. It's just allowing you to be nice and soft, so that you begin to feel that wee bit weightless instead of heaviness, just at ease, and just that weightlessness, just lighter, softer. And then when you're ready, I want you to, if you can, just imagine in your mind that you're sitting on a beach. Just a lovely beach. It can be anywhere at all. And if you're not a beachy person, it can be somewhere else, somewhere that you like. But I want you to imagine that you're sitting on the beach. You can be sitting on a stone, a rock, a log that's there, or sitting in the sand. But I want you to imagine that it's just at the end of the day, the sun's going down, it's nice and peaceful and quiet. The beach is stretched out to either side of you, the sea is right in front of you, and you're just sitting, taking that wee minute to watch the waves rolling in, taking in the sound. And it's a beautiful day, so you're just watching the sun being able to go down. And you've nowhere to go or nothing to do. This is just your time to be, just to be there, to allow yourself to relax and to allow yourself to let go. As you breathe in and you breathe out, I want you to imagine that warm air on your skin, for it's a lovely day. Imagine that sun going down and the nice light that it's casting in the water and the sea. And imagine that ease as you breathe in and you breathe out, and you just take in all the sights and sounds and smells around you. The blue sky being able to fade and it's turning to pinks and oranges. The lovely blue of the water. The yellow of the sand. And then I want you to take a wee minute to reach down under the sand with your hands. Imagine that you can scoop up that sand so that you have 2 handfuls of it. And I want you to imagine that that sand represents any worries or fears, concerns that you're carrying at the minute. You've 2 handfuls of it. And as you breathe in and you breathe out now, as that sun's going down, I want you to gently imagine that you're opening your fingers and you're starting to let that sand just trickle through your fingers. Imagine as you breathe in and out that sand just coming through your fingers is all them worries, them fears, anything that's sitting wee, just being able to slip through your fingers now, and for you being able to let go of them as best you can. Just doesn't mean that that's not a concern or something that maybe that's important to you, but what's out of your control that you can let go, or anything that's really sitting wee that you can just let it look at sand now through your fingers and let it slip and let it go. Imagine now as you breathe in and you breathe out and that sun's nice and going down, that you can press the reset button today to prepare for this week ahead. You can clear the decks on last week, hold on to the good, and let go of anything that's not serving you now to bring into this week ahead, so that you feel refreshed and you feel renewed and you're ready to tackle the week in front of you. And when you're ready and you notice your hands again, you look down, you can see that maybe all that sand has trickled through. There's just a few wee bits in your hands, and you can come to rub them again, giving them that wee rub together and just letting the rest of anything that's on your hands go. And then when you're ready, in your mind you can just imagine that it's time now that you can stand up on that beach, that you can have one last look around at the sea, the stretch of sand, the sun going down. And you can just turn now, breathing in and breathing out, allowing yourself to feel at peace, at ease, renewed, and just start to head away. Slowly in time, breathing in and breathing out, allowing yourself to come back into yourself in this room on your mat, relaxing, feeling the ease, the peace that you've created now for yourself. Just breathing in and breathing out, starting to feel the connection through your back, through your mat underneath and the ground that's supporting you underneath it. Being aware of all them touch points in your body that you connect to the mat. And again, being aware of your whole self, the crown of your head to the tips of your toes, and that space that you're taking up. Breathing in and breathing out now. We start to bring that soft wee bit of movement, and again, we wiggle of your fingers and your toes, a wee move of your head side to side, and just start stretching that awareness out into the room, the music, the walls around, the people around you. And then when you're ready in your own time, just letting yourself slowly come over onto one side and just pause there, taking your wee eye mask off as you go, and letting yourself just come to there, allowing yourself to check in now on where you're at, maybe versus where you were when you came in at the start. And again, just holding on to that ease that you've created for yourself. Then when you're ready, folks, nice and easy, gently come to sit back up again. So you're not rushing, you're not diving. just taking that wee minute to check in, and remember, I'll always say this, outside the door then is real life and everything else. So taking time to hold on to any kind of peace that you've created for yourself, because the phone starts going and everything starts coming back in the minute you step out. So trying to keep hold of that feeling as long as you can. Then when you're ready, remember your wee blankets and the eye masks go on this black box. The wee bolster pillows go at the back corner, and your mats then hang up along the back wall.
Thank you, Maggs.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Maggs. Oh, cheers.